Will everyone please join me in Gasho? Like the cherry blossom, the heart planning on tomorrow is ephemeral indeed. What sudden storm may not arise in the middle of the night? Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandats, Namandats, Namandats. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Zoom Sunday service. I hope everyone is keeping warm and dry during this rainy weekend, though some of you may like the rain and you may even like going out in the rain and dancing around, just like Gene Kelly in Singing in the Rain. I just ask that if you do, you keep yourselves bundled up in rainproof gear. As the days of October continue, and we are most likely past the heat wave of the summer, the days are becoming shorter and the mornings are starting to get darker. As I was noticing this, it reminded me of the story of our founder, Shinran Shonin, who entered into the monastic life at only 9 years old. 9 years old, can you believe that? I am certain there were many of you at a young age who thought about what you wanted to do when you grew up. There were probably some of us who thought we were going to be astronauts or on the police force or part of the fire department. Others thought we were going to be movie stars or the next top singer for American Idol. We all have some ideas of what we thought we were going to do at a young age. Well, for me, I thought I was going to eventually serve in the United States Senate. I was going to become a famous politician. Now, you couldn't pay me enough to run for any type of political office. The reality is, very few of us actually pursue the career we initially thought we were going to do as children. Our desires change as well as our priorities. So I find it very interesting that our founder, Shinran Shonin, decided at age 9 that he was going to enter the priesthood. Some of you may already know this story, so if you have heard it before, please forgive me as I tell it again for those who might not have heard it. It was said that Shinran was determined to enter the priesthood at a young age and convinced his uncle to take him to the temple called Shoren-in in Kyoto. Legend says that it was very late at night or very early in the morning, so probably around somewhere in the ballpark of 2 a.m. Shinran knocked on the door, and one of the priests answered, asking what the request was. Shinran responded that he wished to receive tokudo, or initiation or ordination, immediately, and the priest asked him to please come back tomorrow as it was too late. Shinran refused to leave, and finally the gate priest relented and allowed him to sit in one of the main Buddha halls. After the head priest, Jien, and an entourage of monks assembled, he once again asked the young Shinran if he really wished to be entered into the priesthood at that very moment, instead of waiting for a more suitable time of day, instead of waiting until tomorrow. Hearing this, Shinran requested a brush, some ink, and paper. He then composed the opening poem. That was the Gosandai, or quote that I read above. I will read it again. Like the cherry blossom, the heart planning on tomorrow is ephemeral indeed. What storm may not arise in the middle of the night? Upon hearing this poem, Jien was so impressed with the young Shinran that he immediately ordered his monks to perform the pivotal moment of inducting Shinran into the Tendai order. This, some would say, was the beginning of Shinran's spiritual journey, and it is depicted in this picture that you see in front of you, right here. This has always been one of my favorite stories of Shinran, as it not only provides us with a wonderful anecdote about our founder, but it also provides us with a very important lesson about time. This story reminds us not to take time for granted. Now, please don't misunderstand me. I am not encouraging us to begin running around in a panic frenzy, trying to get everything done at once. We also need time to rest. We also need time to relax, and those times are very important. What we are really talking about is the Buddhist teaching that our lives are not to be taken for granted. When we often drift our minds to laziness, and believe me, I am just as guilty of this as anyone else. When we have thoughts like, oh, I will get it done tomorrow, or I still have plenty of time, we begin to not appreciate the lives we live to the fullest, in the present. I remember when I was younger in elementary school, and high school as well, my father would often have to nag me to take out the garbage, to clean my room, to rake leaves, etc. I remember thinking, why does this task have to get done right at this very moment? I am in the middle of a TV show, or in the middle of playing a video game, which for some reason is more important than doing these household chores. I think younger people can become particularly guilty of this, and many people still consider me to be a young person. And I am still being told things like, you still have lots of time, and you will still be around after I'm gone. While these are nice things to hear, when we think about the reality of life, we know for a fact that nothing is guaranteed. So this picture, I would like to share a brief story about my brother, Kazuo. He's the one in sunglasses on my left. I consider my brother to be my best friend. He and I are very close. And I consider myself to be one of the luckiest brothers in the world. And I am so glad that he is in my life. About 6 years ago, when my brother was still an undergraduate at UC Santa Cruz, my alma mater, he experienced an aortic dissection. And for those of you who do not know what that is, it is when there is a small tear or a larger tear in one of the vessels in the heart, and it needs to be treated immediately. In fact, he experienced two of them, two aortic dissections in the span of 2 years. And both times it happened, I was rocked to my core. I remember my father having a terrified look on his face as he looked at me in disbelief, saying, "He's too young for this. He's too young for this. He's too young for this to happen to him. He is too young." Both incidents required surgery of some kind. I am so grateful that we live in an age of modern medicine. And I am so grateful that the team of skilled surgeons and medical doctors were able to save my brother's life both times. Needless to say, this caused a lot of heartache and distress for all members of my family. And I can't begin to imagine how this was all affecting my brother. Now, years have passed, and my brother is healthy and well. Our relationship is still strong, and I call him almost every day. As scared as I was, and as even angry as I was that this happened to my brother, there was an important lesson that stayed with me to this day. I remember Shinran's words echoing in my head about the cherry blossoms, and need to remind myself again and again that just because I might be young, nothing is ever guaranteed in life. I don't intend to tell this story to make us afraid or to live in fear, but to encourage all of us to contemplate the truth of impermanence that is taught to us in the Dharma. The word impermanence that is drummed into us again and again every single Sunday. Our founder, Shinran, certainly understood this concept, even at a young age of 9 years old. When we think about it, the year of 2021 is almost over, and time continues to move forward without stopping. When we realize this, we can once again be grateful that we are still alive today and take action in telling the ones who we love that we love them. I still intend on calling my brother tonight, and it will be an unequivocal joy to hear him pick up the phone and answer when I call. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.